ne va vraiment plus.
Oui, monsieur Dupont. Bonjour, vous allez bien? Voilà, on a un petit problème par rapport à l'arrivage des MacBooks, mais on a trouvé une solution, ne vous inquiétez pas. Oui, non, c'est facile. On va régler ce problème tout de suite. Voilà, ne vous inquiétez pas, je gère la situation. Merci, oui, au revoir.
Bonjour.
Bonjour mademoiselle.
Alors voilà, je suis étudiante et je recherche un ordinateur portable pour faire mes travaux écrits. Je vois que celui-ci est relativement bas, comme on dit. Est-ce qu'il est en bon état?
Oui, tout à
Oui,
fait.
tout fonctionne bien.
Oui.
Et vous savez peut-être un peu me conseiller
Non.
Non?
Hi guys! So the little video clip you just watched is the perfect example of what should never be done if you want to avoid pre-contractual liability. First of all, it's important to know that parties to a contract are already bound by some obligations towards the other parties by the commencement of the negotiations. Pre-contract liability deals with contracts that were already concluded but are void due to a breach of some pre-contractual obligations. So since this is a really interesting topic and I'm sure you want to know more about the position of France regarding this, just keep watching.
Under French law, this pre-contractual period, which is based on freedom of contract, la liberté contractuelle, is governed by the principle of good faith, l'obligation de l'exécution de bonne foi. This is legally written under Article 1134, subsection 3 of the Code Civil. Agreements must be performed
In English law, there is no special rule of pre-contractual liability. However, the parties can rely on tort, breach of contract, or unjust enrichment. English law focuses on freedom of contract, and good faith is not recognized as a general doctrine. This position, however, is tempered by the rules affecting fair competition, consumer protection, and rules about reasonableness in contract terms.
Just like in the French law, in German law, the principle of good faith also exists and it works exactly the same way. It is codified in the section 242 of the BGB and it is also largely developed by the courts.
During this pre-contractual period, parties must fulfill a set of pre-contractual obligations, les obligations précontractuelles. One of the most important is the obligation to inform, in French, l'obligation légale d'information. This obligation to inform is derived from both le droit de savoir, which means the right to know, et le droit d'obtenir d'autrui une information, which means the right to get from another person some information. The obligation to inform exists with regard to four specific contracts: lease contract, contract of sale of immovable property, consumer contract, and also employment contract. Consumer contract is a good example. Consumers benefit from the obligation légale d'information according to Article L. 111.1 of the Code de la Consommation. This article states, before the conclusion of a contract of sale of goods or of provision of services between a consumer and a business, the latter shall communicate to the consumer in a clear manner information such as essential characteristics of the good or the service, the price of the good or the service, and also the time of the delivery. The purpose of this obligation in this regard is the protection of the consumer. The obligation to inform is important, for example, with regard to the formation of the contract, where the consent has to be given. There may be vice de consentement, which is a kind of misrepresentation of consent, in the sense that the consumer gave his consent while the seller has failed to provide him with some important information. This means that the consent is not really valid and that might lead to the nullity of the contract. Another consequences of a breach of pre-contractual obligation, and especially of the obligation to inform under French law is legally written under Article L 213.1 of the Code de la Consommation. And the sanction could be a fine of a huge amount in case the seller has failed to comply with the obligation to inform in bad faith, for example. This example illustrates how important French law may consider pre-contractual obligations.
In English law, it is totally different from French law as regards the obligation to inform. However, the EU Directive on Consumer Protection obliges the businesses to inform their consumers.
Also in the German law, there is an obligation to provide information. According to section 312C of the BGB, prior to the conclusion of a contract, one must be provided with clear and comprehensive information on the details of the contract.
Under French law, freedom of negotiations is rather limited. In case of B2B contract, where long negotiations are required, businesses have the obligation to refrain from interrupting those negotiations in an abusive way. In such a case, the other party may have the right to damages.
The landmark case in negotiations was Wolford versus Miles, and it stated that while negotiations are in existence, either party is entitled to withdraw from those negotiations at any time and for any reason. They look after their own interests.
Okay guys, so this is the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it and thank you for watching.